Trump decided to give $20 billion bailout to Argentina. Yes, I know. Just like me, you guys were out there, waving your Trump signs because this was a top priority for us. So I'm glad the president is once again fulfilling it. And a reporter had the audacity to ask him how this benefits America. Let's see what the president had to say.
How is this Argentina rescue package America first? And is this rescue package meant to help President Milei's party in the coming election?
No, it's really meant to help a good financial philosophy where Argentina can, after 20 years of disaster, because it was very successful at one point.
Okay, well, I guess it's not for America, so we can help Argentina. Also, because we're not philosophers. So we need to help this good philosophy that apparently needs a bailout to function. Listen, I don't even blame Milei. Argentina's had problems for like 4 decades, all right? No one's going to fix it right away. But is it really America's job to bail it out? So why are we doing it, though? Maybe it has to do with our Secretary of Treasury, Scott Bessett. I just learned today from a podcast I watch, Breaking Points, that Scott Bessett used to work for George Soros. He was his number 2 at the George Soros Fund. And if you don't know who George Soros is, I suggest you look him up. He's the one who's funding all these left-wing organizations, all these district attorneys who think crime is a social construct. Yeah, they're funded by George Soros. Yeah, that's right. Trump's Secretary of Treasury used to work for George Soros, okay? And not just that. When Scott Bessett worked for George Soros, he was with this other guy, Rob Citrone. Rob Citrone and George Soros and Scott Bessett made billions of dollars while they worked for the George Soros Fund. In fact, I pulled Rob Citrone's own words when he worked for George Soros and what him and Scott Bessett were up to. This is from the Goldman Sachs website directly. They have a podcast apparently, but this was the interview Rob Citrone gave.
Investment that we then will concentrate in a meaningful way. 2013 in the dollar yen, where we made over $1 billion long dollar yen. And
Billions,
in fact,
a lot.
We discussed it quite a bit with George, and I kind of convinced George and Scott Bessett at the time to go big in that. And Scott says I was responsible for 75% of his bonus at Soros, kind of jokingly over that time. And then the latest one is Argentina, where
that's something else. So Citrone says that he's responsible for 75% of Scott Bessett's bonus. It really helped him out. So these guys are tight. And, oh, by the way, Rob Citrone in December 2023 invested a lot of money into Argentina, into their currency, into their banks, into all sorts of companies. And now Argentina's not doing so well. So all of a sudden, Scott Bessett is suggesting that we bail out Argentina. I wonder if it's connected at all. And, oh, by the way, remember how China is not buying our soybean anymore because of the tariffs we put on them? Well, guess where China's going to buy their soybean now? Argentina. Because guess what Argentina did? They decided to slash their export taxes. So China can't get mad at them, honestly. They just want cheap soybean. They're going to Argentina. And to make up that money that Argentina would have gotten from those export taxes, we are giving them $20 billion. Some people are saying it could be $40 billion. Does this sound like America first to you? I don't think so. But yeah, there are people behind the shadows making a lot of money on here, very ulterior motives. And it's not for the benefit of America. They're doing it for themselves. And they live among us.